Well, I think they certainly need not to listen to the folks at Drug Free Florida and just really think about, if it was you or somebody you know and love who is suffering from a debilitating disease or medical condition, and your doctor recommended medical marijuana, what would you want to do? What would you want to be able to make that decision without having to live like a criminal? And I think that's the core reason to vote yes on Amendment 2. The doctor-patient relationship should not be criminalized.
The opponents bring up all those loophole provisions that they have.
Right.
What do you say to people who read those loopholes?
I would say to actually look into those loopholes, because they're primarily false or based on the presumption that the state will regulate this law in a horribly irresponsible manner. Parental consent is part of Florida law. Minors cannot be treated without parental consent, despite what the folks at No On 2 say. The State Office of Economic Development and Research looked at the quote-unquote pill mill loophole and found that it was highly unlikely under Amendment 2 because of the strict guidelines that we have for actually becoming a legal medical marijuana user. The caregiver loophole, which says that anybody can obtain medical marijuana for sick people, and there'd be no background checks, and drug dealers can do it, again, presupposes that our public servants, the Department of Health, will just abdicate responsibility and implement this in a really poor manner. And the other core argument of theirs is it's pot for any purpose, when the Florida Supreme Court, which I believe is called Supreme for a reason, has said pretty clearly that this is only for debilitating diseases and medical conditions. So.
What do you think people don't understand that they should get from the argument against?
I think what people don't understand, or it's not that they don't understand, I don't think they've had the opportunity to get the information, is that this is not a bill that we can look to change and either tighten up or loosen up later on. This is a constitutional amendment. This changes their constitution. The issue is it is very loose, so as soon as you start to put restrictions on it, you've now violated your constitution. So I'd like to see this voted down and come back and revisit it later, but please close up those loopholes that are very obvious loopholes once you actually read it and the language. The kids, there is a privacy clause in there. They can't have the parental consent involved. The pill mills, there is no zoning for this. And again, this isn't that you go to your doctor and then you turn around and you go to your pharmacy. You actually have to go and talk to the bud tender behind the counter. The other thing about the caregiver, again, when I think of a caregiver, I think of someone that is a close family member. They're intimately aware of the issue, and this is not what it is. A caregiver is someone that's 21 years of age. There's no background screening.